What's up guys, today we'll be going over a few of the best exotic snipers in the game, and we'll be breaking down their DPS and total damage output and seeing which one is the best. And we'll also be putting in Anarchy plus a legendary sniper rifle with firing line for that good combo damage also. These will include Izanagi's Burden, which is the king of DPS, Whisper of the Worm, Darci, then also Anarchy plus a Tranquility with firing line as I mentioned before. And I just want to put this one single video together with all these different options and throw all the numbers at them to see which one is the best in every category. That way it's a one-stop shop for all that information. So first with Izanagi's Burden, first without Honed Edge, it's going to hit 19,486. Now if you hold Reload, get Honed Edge times 4. Now it's going to hit a lot more per shot at 86,284, which is a 4.428x modifier. So it's doing more than that 4 damage you consume when you hold the Reload. And first looking at the rate of fire numbers without any reload perks, which is pretty much tied to the rate of fire of Izanagi's. That's pretty much what reload is to this. It's pretty much the rate of fire for other weapons. So first with no reload speed at all, just shooting 2 shots, showing off how the more bullets you shoot with Izanagi's, it's going to greatly impact the DPS. First with only 2 shots, it's 52,025. And that's with no reload perks at all. Now if we go ahead and shoot off 5 shots with Izanagi's Burden with no reload perks, you'll see how the DPS will fall greatly, because of the fact that that reload speed is such a huge portion of the rate of fire of this weapon, and that is what needs to be optimized to optimize the DPS. And shooting off 5 with no reload took 12.3 seconds, meaning 35,000 DPS, which is very low for Izanagi's Burden. But once again, if we start maximizing the reload speed and pretty much increase our rate of fire using something like a fitting aspect with rifle loader, then also pulse wave to get to max reload speed in the game for Izanagi's Burden, shooting off 5 again, and it's going to be a lot quicker, as you'll see right here, taking nearly half the time at 7.767 seconds, meaning the DPS with maximum reload speed is 55,545, which is much higher, and pretty much what you should be doing with Izanagi's Burden. Now looking at the total damage output of Izanagi's Burden, without any reserves you hold 20, which means 5 Honed Edge times 4 shots, which means the total damage output will be 431,420, which is quite a bit for a special weapon, but as you'll see, actually one of the lower on the list. Now moving on to Whisper the Worm, without the perk, it hits 25.7 thousand. Now with Whisper Breathing, which is the catalyst, it's on the hit 34,710, which is a 1.348x modifier, so roughly 35% damage increase, which is pretty good and definitely worth getting. Now, unlike Izanagi's Burden, the DPS of Whisper of the Worm will be pretty consistent because of the fact that it has white Nell and you don't have to reload, so reload speed doesn't matter and things like that. 6.383 seconds, meaning DPS is 48,941, so just a tick under 49,000, which is very good and very consistent for that DPS. Now looking at the total reserves, it's 18 with no perks, and that's going to be 624,780 total damage, which is quite a bit more than Izanagi's Burden and definitely better for total damage output. Now moving on to Darci, without the perk I hit 15.5 thousand. Now with the perk where you just ADS on a target for like a second, it's 20,971, which is a 1.346x modifier, which is pretty much the same as Whisper Breathing, which is still pretty good and definitely worth getting. So just like Izanagi's Burden, first without any reload perks, shooting off 2 magazines, so 1 reload, see how long that takes. It's going to be 14 total shots, and that is going to take 7.933 seconds, meaning the DPS of Darci without any reload perks is 37,009, which is pretty low for an exotic power weapon. Now if we go ahead and max out the reload speed the same way we did with Izanagi's, shoot off those 2 mags again, it should be a little bit quicker, as you see right here. Now it's only going to take 6.9 seconds, which means the DPS is now 42,550, which is definitely a lot better for an exotic power weapon, still on the low side though. Darci now holds 23 ammo, which means the total damage output will be 482,333, which is in second place right now, barely beating out Izanagi's Burden. Now the final sniper we're going to test is Tranquility with firing line. First without the perk I hit 19.4 thousand. Now with firing line with 2 allies nearby, now we're going to hit 23,968, which is going to be a 1.23x modifier, so the lowest buff on this entire list, but still very good for a legendary sniper, pretty much the only damage increase in the game. Since I already have field prep on the sniper, which pretty much maxes out the reload speed, I'm just going to go for the max reload speed right off the bat and show that off. So shooting off 2 magazines, it is a 90 RPM with that really quick reload while crouching. This is only going to take 9.833 seconds, meaning DPS is 34,125, which actually isn't bad for a special weapon at all, and almost right there with Darci. This sniper also holds 24 ammo because of field prep, which means the total damage output will be 575,000, which is very, very good for a legendary special weapon, better than all the exotics we tested except Whisper. Now if we pair this with Anarchy, When you shoot 2 shots with the Anarchy, you do 176,000 total damage and also 16,636 DPS during that 10 or 11 seconds the Anarchy is taking. So if you pair that with the Tranquility with Fireline, that combo will now be doing over 50,000 DPS, which is right up there with all the other exotics tested in this video. So recapping what we learned real quick, here is the list of DPS from highest to lowest. Izanagi clearly wins, with the Fireline Legendary taking up the rear. But when you pair it with Anarchy, it is in second place at that 50,000 damage, while Darci's kind of in no man's land at 42,000 while taking up your exotic power slot. Now if we look at the total damage output, Whisper wins here, with that Fireline actually taking up second place, which is actually really impressive, with Izanagi in last place. So there's a lot of things going on here. If you optimize the reload speed with Izanagi's Burden, its DPS is pretty much unmatched in terms of snipers. But if you're not maximizing the reload speed, then something like Whisper the Worm will actually have the same DPS while maintaining a way higher total damage output. And the same thing can be said about the Fireline Sniper combo with Anarchy. Its DPS will be 50,000 while its total damage output will be a lot higher too. But at the same time, you gotta be fair to the other snipers in this list. The total damage output of Anarchy plus the Fireline Sniper is going to be obviously a lot higher than the other snipers because it's 2 different weapons. At the same time, you can pair a grenade launcher with Izanagi's Burden and raise the total damage output also. But the thing about that compared to the Anarchy, that will not increase your DPS. What you're going to be doing is shooting Izanagi's, and once you run out of ammo, shoot your grenade launcher, or vice versa, compared to the Anarchy plus Fireline combo where you're going to be doing it at the same time. And it's not only to increase your total damage output, but also your DPS at the same time. So depending on what you're doing and what your build is, if you have max reload or not, the Anarchy combo, Whisper the Worm, and Izanagi's are actually all pretty equal, and depending on exactly what you need, one might be better than the other in different situations. The only sniper on this list that really doesn't have a place in the game is Darci. It's still getting beat by Whisper in terms of DPS and total damage output, and they're in the same slot, so there's pretty much no reason to ever use Darci still in this game. When auto-loading was still in the game with Lunafaction boots and things like that, the peak DPS of Darci was slightly higher than Whisper, so it was useful for that situation. But now that that's gone, and Whisper pretty much stayed the same, Darci really doesn't have a place in this game, and it probably should be looked at, honestly. Anyways, I think that's all I have to say about the video. I hope you guys learned a lot. I want to put all this information in one place. I've kind of had it spread out between different videos. I just kind of wanted to have one place where I could send people whenever they ask this question or things like that. Let me know what sniper you're rocking right now. Do you use Izanagi's like a lot of people right now, or you do the Anarchy Fire and Line combo, or do you still stick with the old Whisper the Worm, or do you like using Darci for whatever reason? Anyways, thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.